this
Maybe I
particular
could
situation.
find a bedazzled fan
There you
so
go.
it looks like a chandelier.
There you go. Now it's a design challenge. Bedazzle it like a disco ball.
Hi, I'm Lindsay.
And I'm Tomek.
And we're the husband-wife duo of 3F Living, an architecture and interior design company here in the city. We help our clients from initial design to move-in day. And we are here because we bought an apartment and we're going through the process ourselves and we're documenting it and hoping to share everything with you for information and entertainment. Like, what are the key points that you look at during a site survey?
I am looking for any columns, beams that I notice, which will tell me where the structural elements are that I cannot touch and remove. That's always a number one thing. I am looking for any piping, indication of where the piping stacks
like
are.
Gas, like for
gas,
the,
as well as waste and water, incoming water.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at things like, how is the toilet mounted? That somehow sometimes tells me how we can connect the future toilet, for example, which is kind of the case in our apartment. I'm looking for, like I said, HVAC. I'm looking to see if there's any potential for creating openings through the existing wall for like a sleeved AC, for example. There is a through wall AC in one of the bedrooms, and it's inserted into an old window that was bricked over. And so my thought is that there is potentially a way to enlarge that through that sleeve opening and put in a larger unit that could actually serve the whole apartment.
Sounds amazing to have central air.
Sure.
But realistically,
yeah,
in terms of finances,
it's very
in terms
expensive.
of getting approvals,
yeah.
in terms of, all these things, what would be the flip side of that? What would we be dealing with for heating and cooling at the best case scenario if we couldn't get central air?
So if we couldn't get that, I found another window that's bricked over, actually in the kitchen area. And there's precedent in the building for ACs, through-wall ACs in that window as well.
Where is that window?
So that's kind of above the refrigerator.
I want to talk about the heating.
So
what can we do about those? I don't want to have the radiators.
So those big radiators are a bit of a problem. See, what they do is they kind of create a heat zone right in that location and don't do a good job spreading the warm air throughout the space. So what we're gonna do is we have found a baseboard steam unit that we can install.
How big is it?
The height is I think 14 inches.
That's amazing. And how wide?
And it's about 2 inches in width.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really good solution. So if we can't get central air and heating and cooling,
at least we can tuck it away.
This is a great situation.
Yeah, it's a space saver.
Yeah.
One thing that I didn't mention to you yet, so this is going to be, out of the left a little bit. But if we end up putting in an AC above the kitchen, above the refrigerator, we should probably consider a fan in the living room area. Hear me out.
I don't want to do that.
Hear me out.
No, we have a beautiful cold
Hear me out. The heat that's going to be generated in that apartment is going to come through those front windows. Those are south-facing windows. That's where most of that heat is going to be. And we're cooling all the way from the other side of the kitchen. That air eventually is going to make its way to the front. However, all of that heat is going to rise up and it's going to sit at that ceiling, and what you're going to end up getting is getting cold air that's going to get sucked right out of the apartment. So by putting a fan in that center space, you push that warm air down and cool it off with the cold air coming from the kitchen, and it will create a much more comfortable environment.
Well, we will cross that bridge when we get to it. Your site survey, you didn't find any columns that were in the bad location. So that was a good. Did you find anything plumbing wise that was interesting on our apartment?
Well, I guess when we expand the powder room into a full size bathroom, we're gonna have to use a wall hung toilet.
Yes, because we're moving the location of the toilet.
Correct.
Right.
And what we currently have in the apartment are back outlet toilets.
Right.
Which are kind of similar to a wall hung toilet in the manner in which they connect to the waste pipe. So it might be an advantage for us.
HVAC,
Uh-huh.
check.
Yeah.
Columns, check.
Yep.
And we talked about plumbing, check. That was actually a very positive one, finding that both toilets were back outlet toilets. So typically when Tomek is doing his site survey, he's usually meeting the asbestos inspector there. So just so you know that when you submit anything to DOB, Department of Buildings, it requires you to test whatever you intend to demo. So if you're going to demo the floors, demo the walls, demo the tile, demo the caulking, all of the things, you have popcorn ceiling, all of it has to get tested to make sure that there's no asbestos in it. So basically the way that it works is they test. If it comes up hot, then you have to abate. And
hot is positive for asbestos.
Hot is positive is for asbestos, right? You abate, or depending on where they find it, sometimes they'll find it underneath like linoleum flooring. It's in the mastic.
Right, it's concealed under something, and it's already kind of encapsulated in a way,
Right. So then that way, there's another way. Instead of going through the abatement, which can sometimes be costly, depending on where it's located, we could just lay thin set and self-level over the thin linoleum.
Yeah, we can lay material over the asbestos containing material, or the finished material that has the asbestos either in it or underneath. And we just cover it up. And that's an acceptable method of remediation.
Basically,
for asbestos.
If it's not disturbed,
correct,
it's not airborne.
And that's an important fact.
It's not a health risk. So it's a whole process, and it always happens right in the beginning because you want to know, because you'd want to abate if we had it. And drum roll, do we have asbestos? Yes.
Yes, we do.
Just kidding. No.
Oh my gosh.
I got the email. No. At this point, Tomek has now put the existing drawings into Revit, and he starts going through the plan and presenting like a DD1 option, which is design development. So we have like usually DD1, DD2, but obviously this is us. So he is going to walk me through some 3D models and the plan on how he kind of laid out the space initially.
Okay, so from my survey, I was able to create a 3D model. Right now, the model is very raw. Nothing's really articulated. I just blocked things out just to get a sense of how much space each component is going to take.
This is where Tomek was saying the AC unit would go. So if we couldn't get central air, it would kind of go here and it would blow out this way into the space, because that's where the bricked over window was, right?
Yeah.
And so we basically have our sink, our dishwasher, upper cabinets going all the way across. We are going to actually do an induction cooktop, because one thing that we found out, which is also something that we find out in the very beginning stages,
part of the survey,
as part of the survey, is the amps. How many amps are going to the unit? We need to know, because we don't know what we're designing, what kind of equipment can we get in there. And sometimes it just takes like reaching out to your super. Like we just reached out to our super. He was like, you got 100 amps. I'm like, yes. 100 amps.
That's really good.
Gets us potentially central air, and it gets us an induction cooktop, and definitely like a convection oven and steam oven should we need it. Yes. And I like that idea that it's capping the kitchen, because it is an open space, so you always have to delineate it. And I also think that if you look up here, the cove and the ceiling and everything is kind of starting at that cap of where the tall cabinet is. So you're going to get this glow that's going here, that's integrating into this cove light that has a fan in it.
So we were trying to figure out how to keep all of the windows that we currently have, which is all of these windows here.
All three.
because we just love the quantity of light. There's also a bunch of beautiful trees outside, so it looks like a garden when you look out when everything's
so
in
nice.
in the summertime and spring. The other thing that really bothered me about losing that window is that it would make the living space into like a big rectangle, and
Right. And I was like, oh my gosh,
and
we're
and
right back where
having
we
that little
started. We're right
return
back
and
where we started.
having
Yeah.
it, you know, a few alcoves
Yeah.
and angles and stuff like that, just kind of it enlarges the space in your mind. And
So in the current situation, we have the powder room. You enter here off of this wall.
Yep.
And obviously we didn't want to be in our kitchen looking into the bathroom, nor did we want to be on our sofa looking into the bathroom. So Tomek created a diffusing like light panel that would go here, like a ribbed glass, so that it just diffuses it. You still get the light from the window, but you're not looking at a bathroom door. So basically this is all closets. Now this is going into the first kind of bedroom.
this is Remy's room.
This is Remy's room. And again, this is not what we're doing.
Just sizing things up.
Then across the hall is actually our bedroom. Yeah.
Here's our AC, so just kind of box it out and provide some upper storage next to it. Also gives us a shade pocket so that we can have like a recessed shade in there.
This, we are continuing the slats all the way over and hiding the bathroom door. The bathroom door will be made out of these same slats. So when the door is closed, it'll be flush with this, and it'll just look like the wooden slats continue.
We don't want to see the bathroom. Then this is our
kind of walk-in closet.
We're still thinking about how this works.
We'd have
if it works
storage
this way,
on both sides.
but we are thinking about leaving it open.
Have like a beautiful dressing area. So this is it.
That's it.
I'm liking it. I like where it's going. Next steps, finishes.
Yep.
Approvals.
Yep.
Refining the details of our design.
Yeah.
And getting pricing.
Right.
Gotta come with me to some showrooms.
I would love that. I would love that. That's shopping, right?
I feel.
Let's go shopping. It's gonna be nice.
All right. Peace out. Bye.